In today's video, I'm going to talk about how XP has been nerfed this season, how it's harder to level up, and why it's taken a while, and which mode is the best. Now, these videos kind of go against the YouTube algorithm because I am going to be talking for a while and explaining stuff, so please sit back, relax, listen closely so you understand everything about XP because it's complicated in Fortnite. They don't make it easy. So, let's talk about XP itself. How much do you need this season? Well, this season's been increased from 75,000 to 80,000 per level across the board all the way to 200. We're not going to talk about past 200 because you don't need past 200. You only need to get 200 for all the rewards. So 80k XP per level all the way there, which means it's going to be a total of 16 million for level 200 from this chart you can see on screen. Now, in Chapter 3 Season 1, it was 14 million-ish for that level. 15 million, basically, if you round it up. So about a million extra. But that's because the season's got a deadline day of the 17th of September, which you can see in the Battle Pass screen, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you want to unlock all these rewards, this video is going to help you out. Obviously, you want to get at tier 100. Now, for me, I just bought the tiers off the bat because technically it's more value to buy tiers now than it was last season because they were 75,000 per tier, XP-wise, 75,000 XP per tier, but now it's 80,000 per tier, so technically it is more value for your V-Bucks. And don't forget, if you are buying anything in the AMP shop, anything inside of Fortnite, tiers, whatever you're buying, pop in code POST to support me here on the channel. Anyway, we're going to go over all the modes now. We've got Battle Royale, Save the World, Imposters, Creative, all in this video. Let's go. So, starting off with quests. So this is part of the Battle Royale category. Quests themselves, dailies, they're the same. They give 45,000-ish per day if you do your 3 dailies, and they reset every 24 hours. If we add this up, including the 1,000 XP you get per daily, you're going to be roughly getting here 47,000 a day. You do that over 103 days, starting from today, you're only going to get 4.8 million if you do all your dailies every single day. That's probably not going to happen in reality, but if you did that, that's 4.8. Now, we're going to rule out weeklies and milestones because weeklies have been nerfed. These have basically gone down from 20k to 15k, which is kind of annoying, and also milestones have gone down from 7k to 5k. Milestones are also just generic. You don't need to focus on these. These will happen naturally as you play. Most of them will anyway. Some of them might be a bit more difficult, like bounties and reboots, but most of them are pretty natural. Weeklies, I would focus these if they are part of the reward quests, and if you're just playing and you're in the area of the weekly, do them. They're going to help you get XP, but nothing too major. It's not really going to help you that much, which is a decent amount. It's like half of the season XP from dailies and weeklies, but you got to do all your dailies. That's just not a reality. Anyway, BR XP, how much do you get from playing any of the BR modes, solo, duos, squads, whatever you're playing, how much do you get on average? Well, this is not including challenges, but from the game you can see me playing here in the background. I didn't do too well. I got a decent placement, like 6th or so, but you can see I was roughly earning about 6k per 15 minutes if you take away the quest that I did here, the challenge, which is about 24k per hour if you're not doing any quests / challenges, and then if you get all the way to the end of that and you want to know how much it is per one level to get the 80k, it's going to take you roughly about 3.3 hours to get that one level. So 3 hours roughly of no challenges or anything, just playing BR, not focusing challenges. It'll take you a long time. So BR is not that good unless you're doing quests. I always recommend it. Do your weeklies, always, once they're in here. I usually do them at the end of the season. Dailies, I usually ignore them. Milestones, ignore. But any weeklies, I do at some point if they're quest related. Probably not this season though, because I'm already level 108 because I bought tiers and got level 8 with a few methods, which I'll show you guys in a sec. That's creative, so that ties into it now. Let's move on to creative, where we're mainly going to be focusing on Box FFA and 50 fashion. So I made a video at the start of the season talking about how to earn XP on all my maps, how to level up fast, because creative's the best method. I'll explain why. We'll talk about imposters and save the world in a second as well, for those that want to know about that and why they aren't the best as much to creative. So let's go over this. Box FFA. Box FFA is one of my maps. 50 Fashion is one of my maps. There's other creative maps you can play as well, but these are the ones I'm focusing on because the ones I designed, the ones I built, and I know everything about because obviously I built them. How does this work? How do you get XP on these maps? And basically, how much are you going to be earning here? So creative itself, roughly, here's my chart. On Toybots, I was getting an average of 1,000 XP per elimination and drop in. It would vary. Sometimes it would be at like 1.5k, sometimes it'd be down at 500, and it will fluctuate throughout this hour and a half play period, which I had here. You can see, obviously I can't play an hour and a half worth of footage here, but one thing I can show you is before I started this footage, I was level 105, and after an hour and a half of playing an hour of Toybots, half an hour of 50 fashion, I was all the way up at 108. So that's an increase of 106, 107, 108. 3 levels in the space of an hour and a half, which was roughly about 80k XP per half an hour, 1 level per every 30 minutes, roughly, on Toybox. Just on a side note, when you're playing Toybox or any of my creative maps, don't forget to hit the gold button and pop in code POST to your shop. It really does go a long way and help support me. And before you leave the game, don't forget to tap the like button on the map if you enjoyed it. It helps get the map out there to more people, so tap that like button. Thank you everyone considering to do that. Now, creative does have a limit and a cap. I don't know if I hit the cap in this period, but 3 levels is pretty good because yesterday I also got 3 levels in creative. So that is pretty awesome. You know, you can rank up pretty quick and you could probably get more. I reckon I could definitely get more. My XP did not seem to reduce. Now, for those that are playing Toybots or 50 Fashion, there is a video on my channel that goes over how to get XP exactly in the maps on the more complicated ones like 50 Fashion or any of my other maps. I'll link that at the end. It's a really crucial video. But one thing to note, this is really important. If you, for some reason, are getting lots of eliminations in Toybots and you just stop getting granted XP, there seems to be a bug at the minute where it just doesn't give you XP anymore for a set period of time. But if you research in with the matchmaking portal, it resets this and you'll continue to get XP where you left off at whatever numbers you were at. So that is something which you guys have found and told me about. I have reported this bug, but it's not being fixed yet. I'm not too sure if it's in the works or not, but it's how you fix it. So just matchmaking if you're having any issues with XP not showing, or it could be in calibration. So that's that there with creative, 1 level every 30 minutes. So let's move on to Imposters. Imposters itself is not going to be good in the public game for XP. Fun, but not good for XP. And that's really important to note because obviously we want to make sure that you guys are getting max XP here in Imposters. Now, private is an option. Let me explain this. We did videos of this in the past. I haven't done any since because it has been nerfed a lot. Imposters got nerfed 25% this season and also took a 50% nerf when it originally was being farmed back in Season 8 or Season 1, I'm not too sure. But Private Imposters, how much do you earn and how does it work? So here's a little overview of Private Imposters right now. Private Imposters is a 4-player imposter game where you need 4 players and you can only do 15 tasks in here and the game will end. One of the players won't be able to do anything because they're the imposter. The other player will do 10, the other one will do 5, and the other guy will do nothing. So it's quite boring, it's very tedious, but you do earn 1,200 XP per task. This is after the nerf. It previously was 1,500. The 25% nerf did hit across everything Imposters as well, not just the tasks. That's not 25% from the calculations. But this was from my friend Loot Station. That's where I'm getting the information from Imposters. He grinds Imposters a lot. Shout out to him. But here we can see Private Imposters XP is coming in with 66k per 30 minutes. This is off his calculations, taken from what he did in his vid. Then we've obviously got 132 per hour, which is roughly going to be getting you 1 level per 36 minutes in Private Imposters. You need 4 people, remember, for this. It's tedious, and you've got to be quick with your tasks. Any delays, any problems, any AFK players, you ain't getting that XP. You've got to be quick and fast. Tedious, boring, not fun. If you like grinding, and you really want to grind, this is a good method. 4 people doing this is a good method. Very tedious, would not recommend. That's my personal opinions. Creative is a lot more fun, and it is actually better if you're playing for a shorter period of time. Why do I say that? Because creative will nerf your XP. If you're playing it for 20 hours a day, they're not going to allow you to get 3 levels in 20 hours a day every hour. It's going to get nerfed. But you're playing creative for 2 hours a day, 3 hours, you're okay. But if you're playing it for a long period of time in a day, it's obviously going to get heavily nerfed as you get more XP to the point where you're not getting much. That's why XP glitches get nerfed. They also get decalibrated because a lot of people are triggering the devices because they're fake, because it's just set up by someone. It's not a glitch. Someone's just set that up. And also, XP glitches themselves, as people call them XP glitches, just people setting them up, will nerf your XP because you're granting it so often. You're going to get like a kind of like a note on your account kind of in the system backend saying you've had so much XP in creative. They think you're glitching, making it harder to earn on other maps as well. So this is what I've experienced talking to some people. Fire Monkey, we talked about this. He did a so-called XP glitch, whatever you want to call them, one of their maps. I think lots of people tried them. So yeah, he went in, tried one of them, and got a lot of XP at the start, and then it just nerfed his XP for the whole season because it realised that he's trying to grant so much stuff. And I think that's something on the back end which I've noticed. Anyway, moving on. Next one, Save the World. This one is interesting. I think it is anyway, especially if you've got friends that play it. So, Save the World isn't the best method, but it could be if you join in progress. And let me explain why that is. So there's something called endurances on Save the World. They've been reduced, by the way. They've been reduced from 350,000 to about 250,000 XP. Also, the cap on Save the World went down from 600,000 to 450,000 XP per day on item shop reset. However, Save the World does grant you 250k for an endurance, but they take roughly 2 hours from what I've seen on YouTube. However, you can join in progress. So if you've got a friend who's AFK farming endurance or playing Save the World on his own, technically 3 of you could join him on that endurance and get the 250k bonus after he's spent 2 hours grinding it. Now, if you've got someone willing to do that every day, fair enough. You could do that twice, get the cap limit, 250, 250, and you get a decent amount of levels. You're looking at 1 level every 40 minutes, or for you in that sense, you'd literally be joining and getting 2 free levels for the space of doing nothing. And if you did that twice, you'd technically get 4 levels a day for doing nothing, which is pretty good. Just under 4. You got 8, 16, 24. Well, yeah, 36. You get just under, well, you just get 4 levels and a bit over, but that's going to take 4 hours-ish, and it's very tedious, boring. Plus, you need to be good at Save the World as well, and have a lot of good equipment and know your knowledge well. So, is this a good method? Yes, if you're joining in progress and you have a lot of experience in Save the World. If you're new to Save the World, or someone like me that's played it a long time but doesn't really understand what's going on, setting up all these trap systems and stuff, there isn't much videos out there to give you much help, and it doesn't get updated at all. They only update it by giving nerfs to the XP. It's really not worth it. I would personally just rule this off. I don't count it as a method, especially after the nerf. Pre-nerf, it was very good. The 600k cap and even the 350 from endurances was amazing. After the nerf, and it could go wrong, remember. You may not make it to wave 30 and you will fail. That's a bit of a risk, right? So, yeah, I would avoid it. But that's it. Overall, what's the best XP method? It's going to be, in my opinion, creative. Mixed in with Battle Royale challenges, these are the best 2 methods to rank up. If you play every single day, do your weeklies, play a bit of BR, the odd few dailies, then followed by creative, 1.5 hours to 2 hours worth of creative a day on either my maps or whatever you play. I've got a video on all of my maps, how you can get XP on them. Toy Box is a really good one. 50 Fashion. Toy War, a brand new one as well, which I brought out. Same as Toy Box. XP is exactly the same. It runs the same. Toy War as well. Pop in there. Remember, guys, everyone's XP in creative is different. It all depends how long you've played for that day. Please do not send me messages saying, I'm not earning what you earned, Pat. I'm not earning this. It's because you've either grinded the day before, like ridiculously grinded the day before, and haven't just done it casually, or you've played a different creative map before and got a bit of XP on it, and you've gone on my map, or you're just granting yourself a lot of XP. Maybe you're getting loads of eliminations. Maybe you're dropping in the box loads. Who knows what you're doing, but it's all subject to you. It's not a universal thing, whereas Save the World Battle Royale and Imposters are. That's what makes creative so hard to explain. But overall, this video has been quite hard for me to explain all of this stuff, and my previous video did focus on creative for you guys because that is the best method if you're playing between 1 and 2 hours a day. I don't know how long on average you guys play per day. For me, I play a lot because obviously I create content on the game, but I don't know what your average playtime is per day and how often you play per week. And even if you miss a few days on creative, you're less likely to get nerfed more. So if you play creative for like every single day for 2 hours, that's pretty solid. You'll get the most effective range of XP. But if you say miss like 2 days, your then cap would be kind of extended a little bit. Not as much if you were to play every day, you'd get more on that, but your cap would be moved back a little bit, giving you a little bit of room to make up for the days that you missed, but not 100% making up for them, if you get what I mean. And that's why some people will see, like, I've got footage of like 55,000 XP sometimes on like elimination on Toy Bots. Well, it's because it's stacked up a lot. But after like 5 eliminations, it's straight down to like 1,000. It gets nerfed. It goes down very, very quick. It's just making up for like a few days that you may have missed. Not all of them, only a few, but it makes up for a little bit of time. But that's like maybe like 4 weeks, 5 weeks of not playing creative. You know, it's not worth the missed XP. It'd be better to play it every day. Anyway, that's the conclusion done. I hope this has helped you, and hopefully you enjoy playing my maps, 50 Fashion Toy Bots. I spent a lot of time creating them. And if you're in there, don't forget to press the gold button to support me in the item shop if you want it. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you anyone considering to do that. And once again, this is Postbox Pat, signing out.